Should I force myself to try to save my marriage or leave everything as it is? If it's God's will He bring us back together? You should always try your hardest to save your marriage. For example, if your finger's falling off, you wouldn't think about whether to try to save it or just let it fall off completely. You wouldn't have such ideas, right? If your finger is falling off, you need to try to save it, do something to make it heal, right? Similarly with family, it's very important, even if we don't understand it, but it's very important. God hopes that we will stay together. He united us and gave us the opportunity to work on ourselves and with each other. We didn't want to work on ourselves, we argued, demanded attention for ourselves, because arguing means unwillingness to work on oneself. Why do people argue? They don't want to work on themselves, they demand to be treated better. There's no other reason to argue. Let's say I come to my wife and say, I want to very humbly accept all your flaws, and if you don't allow me to do this, I'll still try. And I start arguing with her about this. She says, don't argue, everything is fine, I allow it. Accept all my flaws humbly, I don't mind. Nobody argues in this direction. Everyone argues in another direction, demanding that something needs to be done for me in this relationship, right? This means that we are simply sinning. This is not done for God. This is not a godly deed. Therefore, the family falls apart as a result. What should you do? I said in the lecture, this is mental laziness, when you think that if God wants us to stay together, we will, and if He doesn't want it, we won't. What kind of talk is this? You better think about your future. If you're destroying your family now, think about how many years you'll be alone. Think about that. Do you really think He will immediately give you the next one? Let's say a father bought a bicycle for his child. The child rode it and broke it, threw it away and didn't even bring it home, didn't repair it, but said, Dad, buy me the next bicycle. The father said, why should I? You could have at least brought this one to me. We would have repaired it and you would have ridden it again. There will be no more bicycles. But if even a bicycle isn't just given that simply, then a man isn't a bicycle. It's more serious, right? God gave you a man, so try to live normally with him. Learn to love. How to answer this question in the note. We just sit down, bow, and begin to pray. Why don't I want to live with him? Because I'm too lazy to work on myself. You'll still have to work through this in your heart with someone else anyway. This exam that you failed, you'll still have to pass it with someone. So work through it with this person who is here and now. It will be easier later. Even if you won't be together, everything will still be fine. But I don't see in this situation that people should separate. I see that if just one of them prays, they will come together again and everything will be fine. The guy's just in shock right now. He's very tense. I can feel it. He's upset and doesn't really understand what's happening. You need to pray, release the tension, and establish harmony in your heart. Through prayer, there will be harmony in your hearts, and He will calm down, and the family will come back together again. But if you keep throwing away men, it didn't work with this one, it didn't work with that one, time goes on, life moves forward. Next note, why do men and women behave differently during illness? A sick woman can do everything, while a man lies down at the first sneeze. This is written by a woman. Don't be offended by men. Everyone is different. Sometimes women lie down at the first sneeze, and men don't. It depends on the person. Sometimes people are very strong mentally. They have a very strong central energy channel, sushumna. They have a strong will for asceticism, and they endure any difficulties in life. They are very strong. There are weak people. Something goes slightly wrong, and that's it. They have no strength left. Sometimes a woman can be strong. Sometimes a man is strong. Sometimes it's the opposite. But in general, the tendency is that women are weaker, a little weaker. It's harder for them to endure more stress. Women are a little weaker, but not in relationships. In relationships, women can do a lot, but in activities, they're weaker. It's harder to work. But in relationships, a woman can do a lot. For example, taking care of a child. A woman can take care of many children at the same time. She can put a lot of energy into relationships because her psyche is woven that way. But at work, it's harder for her. She gets tired faster from work. A man, on the contrary, finds it harder to take care of children, but easier to work. Everyone has their own nature. You need to act according to your nature, not look for something else, not make things up. You should never oppose men and women. As some say, men are like this and women are like that. Try to understand that you are a man in this life. In the next, you will be a woman. An easily offended woman in the next life becomes an angry man. Who do easily offended women usually get offended by? They get offended by angry men and say, well, such a bore. I can't even imagine how one can behave like that. If you are born as a man in your next life, you will be the same kind of bore, and he who is so rude will be an easily offended woman. You see, there is a plus sign and there is a minus sign. They are opposite. If a woman is very initiative in a female body, she loves to work, she likes to command, then what does she become in a male body? Lazy and defenseless. It's the same person behaving differently in different bodies. And such active women think, why are men so lazy, so passive? For the same reason that women can be masculine, men can be feminine. It's the same thing, just a plus or minus sign, and that's it. If a woman is depressed, then in a male body she becomes hyperactive. Or a hyperactive man becomes depressed in a female body. It's the same psyche in different bodies, plus and minus, the unity and struggle of opposites. We need to learn to accept each other, not discuss each other. If we discuss each other, it means we don't love. Love means acceptance, not discussion. We don't know all the subtleties of how this world works. We don't know how opposites change. What would I be like in a male body? We don't know. If you want to know, then whoever you married, that's what you'll be like in a male body. Some women say, I would never be a drunkard. A woman who behaves cruelly with a man, so cold, harsh, becomes a drunkard in a male body. It is precisely such a cold, harsh woman who gets a man prone to drinking, that's all. Next note. Based on some external signs and character traits, I've come to the conclusion that Mars is poorly developed in me. I have repeatedly heard from various sources, including your lectures, that there are certain ways to improve the influence of a planet on oneself. Is it possible to hear more about this from you? What actions are necessary to improve the influence of the planet Mars for men? For example, I heard that sleeping on a hard surface contributes to this. Yes, sleep more, eat, do nothing. Mars means willpower, that you need to simply be a strong-willed person. You need to overcome difficulties, perform healing practices, set yourself some tasks, and fulfill them. Make willful efforts. You can run, perform healing practices. Mars increases with determination. When people act decisively in life, they strengthen their connection with Mars. But in general, a person should not think too much about how planets influence them, because the influence of planets is like a punishment. You understand? A person is punished. For example, people ask me, Dr. Torsunov, how to stop being resentful? How should one work on resentfulness? You don't need to work on resentfulness, it's a punishment. You just need to do good deeds. In this regard, for example, what good deeds can we do? Learn to forgive. Are we working on resentfulness at this time? If we work on resentfulness, then defeat occurs. You see, I forgive, and I still get offended. Something isn't working. But if a person is not set up for becoming better, they are simply set up to help other people, then they just forgive and that's it. Whether they become better or not, whether they remain resentful or not, they simply continue to forgive. They forgive, and when the time comes, they feel they've become less resentful. God gives His mercy, the time comes, God gives mercy, and we become less resentful. You understand? Look, another example. I want to lose weight. Let's say I'm overweight. I constantly think, I want to lose weight, I want to lose weight, I want to lose weight, and because of this, I only gain even more weight. Let's say I fasted a little, but then I couldn't control myself and overate afterward, you understand? And so on endlessly. When a person directs attention to their body, to their character traits, to their psyche, they simply go crazy. But you shouldn't want to lose weight, just simply change your lifestyle. Just move more and that's it. Spin a hula hoop, go for a walk, and you don't need to weigh yourself. Don't get fixated on it. When the time comes, you'll see you've already lost weight. Well, it's not a big deal. We keep moving forward. Don't think negatively. Nobody loves me. Nobody respects me. Why think about this? Like in the song, I'm the water sprite. I'm the water sprite. Nobody hangs out with me, and all my friends are leeches and frogs. But I want to fly. Oh, my life didn't work out. To hell with it. These are all dreams, you understand? Go do something. Whether you're a water sprite or not, go and do something. Live joyfully. Try to help other people. Forget about yourself. As in another song, leave your worries, falls and rises. Understand that this life is not a children's game. And if your friend is in trouble, don't rely on a miracle. Hurry to him. Always follow the path of goodness. Don't think about yourself. When a person says, oh, I have a bad character, I'm fat. Dr. Torsunov, how can I get rid of thoughts about myself? I have such a problem. I constantly think about myself. How can I get rid of this? I constantly think about myself. Just start thinking about others. Forget about yourself and you will become happy. Stop thinking about your bad character traits, about flaws you have. Stop thinking about it and you will become happy. My nose is like this, but it should be like that. What kind of nose do I need? You don't need any. Just live and be happy for others. Your nose will be the most beautiful in the world. Next note. I left my husband when my son was 1.5 years old. My husband was wonderful, but he didn't work. but he did everything around the house. I didn't want to argue, but he wanted to drink every day. That means his energy went in the feminine direction, which means yours went in the masculine direction. 6 years passed like this, and he started drinking in binges. Now my son is 18 years old, he's a student. I feel that in some ways he resembles his father, but he doesn't drink. I'm very afraid that he might become the same, because it's possible that I pushed my husband towards such a lifestyle. There's no need to worry about anything. I feel that my son might drink. This is a volume of work. You should sit down and start praying. The time will come, and you'll begin to feel something different. For example, I feel that my listeners is not yet ready for the lecture. Everyone is sitting, sleeping a little. Well, I won't give the lecture then, and I think, will it be difficult for me or not? I want to know about this. Maybe it will be difficult. Well, if it's going to be difficult, what should I do then? Maybe you can help me make it easier? Can you do something about this? Help me? Such behavior looks ridiculous, doesn't it? You simply have a son and you feel that your son might drink? What should I tell you? There will be 3 options. The first option, go to a psychic. They will tell you that everything is fine. This is an option for fools, for money. The second option, don't worry, he won't drink. You're feeling incorrectly. This is also for fools, but free. The third option, if you feel that your son might drink, it simply means a volume of work. What should I tell you about this? If you feel that your son might drink, then sit down and start praying. Time will pass and you won't feel that your son will drink. That's all. Just work on your fate. And that's it. There is no other explanation for what to do here. And if you want me to snap my fingers so that you don't feel this, then it means you're lazy. You don't want to work on yourself. You want me to solve your problems for you. But I can't. This is your life. I have my own problems. You have yours. Next note. I have a daughter. I am married. I have a good husband and a close-knit family. Wonderful. I bless you so that it will always be this way. My daughter was born with one underdeveloped eye. It doesn't see. What is this punishment for? Well, what difference does it make? It's for something. According to the Vedas, if a person doesn't rejoice in this world, they may get poor eyesight in the next life. But if a person committed some insult or poked out someone's eye in a past life, they may get a birth in which they don't have one eye. Why think about this now? For what purpose? To create more problems for yourself? Let's say I said such a phrase, oh, whose eye did she poke out? You just need to continue living, you understand? 2 dogs are barking at each other. What difference does it make which one started first? You just need to separate them and that's it. Live more simply, you understand? Let's say your daughter was born with one eye. It's not a big deal. Don't think she will be an unhappy person. Just try to understand that each person has a different amount of work to achieve happiness. For example, a person is born and their legs don't work. They can't walk, they use a wheelchair. Will they be happy or unhappy? I have a question for you. How they will live depends on their life. I know at least 2 people in wheelchairs who are very happy. One girl lives in New Zealand. She seriously practices spiritual discipline. A young girl. When her parents leave for work, they take her outside in a wheelchair and a crowd of people lines up. A queue forms. They receive guidance from her on how to live. She gives advice to everyone, inspires them for life. She is happy, joyful, full of energy, a spiritually strong person. Now she is about 30 years old. When I met her, she was 24. She is the happiest person. She is very busy. One young man also had an accident and became immobilized. He lay there thinking his life was over. Then he started practicing, working on himself, began to develop as a person, and then felt that he had the strength to be happy. He became a happy person. Then he gave advice to his mother. She felt it was helping her, so she told her friend. The friend came for advice. He gave advice to the friend, and it started helping her. Then a line formed and people would constantly come, trying to receive knowledge from him. And then his mother couldn't manage alone anymore. She invited a young girl to help her. The girl herself asked to help her. Well, this girl started helping. Then she said, I want to marry him. He said, but I'm disabled. How will you live with me? I don't want anyone else. I need a person like you. He got a wife in addition. Well, is he an unhappy person or a happy one? Why can't a person with one eye be happy? Maybe she will live in such a way that she gets the best man in the world. If you think, oh, she has one eye, then she will definitely be unhappy. If you don't want to work on yourself, on your fate, and your daughter's fate, your daughter will be unhappy. But if you want to work, she will be happy. Choose. Each person simply has a different amount of work to do. Sometimes people say accusingly, Dr. Torsunov, you come from a troubled family. You had everything in your life. Why do you give lectures on family relationships? It is because I overcame my fate and I have something to tell people that I give lectures. Try to forbid me from doing this. I defended my PhD based on my own lectures. Try to forbid me from giving lectures. You see, you can perceive fate from different angles. Some perceive it with a minus sign and grieve. This means they are lazy, just mentally lazy, you understand? And there are those with a plus sign. These are people who overcome their fate. That's all. You have an excellent family. God gave you everything. It's never the case that everything is good, my dears. He gave you a good husband, gave you a good child, but there's one eye missing or underdeveloped, for example. Come to us for treatment. If the child is small, maybe we can do something. The eye might develop a little better. We'll open the subtle energy channels in her body. This is possible. We have strong medicine in this regard. Maybe this will help you. Next note. 2 years ago, you already made a huge contribution to saving our family. It was you who made a huge contribution to saving your family by listening to lectures and working on yourself. I am very grateful to you. The relationship after the crisis became even better than before. It's always like that. Your lectures helped to survive separation. Glory to God for everything. I bow deeply to you. Today's question: God united in matrimony a neat freak and a queen of chaos. That means complete harmony. I clean the house with love and prayer, iron, cook once a week, change the bed linen, but my husband and I have different concepts of cleanliness. And for my husband, everything should be sterile, always in its place. It's very difficult for me. How can such different people live together? The husband is accumulating irritation. I also wondered, how did God connect me with my wife? She is very slow and I am very fast. She gets tired quickly. I have a lot of energy. She is very neat. I'm messy. How did God connect us? We are absolutely unlike each other. We can't even walk together because she walks very slowly and I walk very quickly, and we have to constantly adjust to each other. We can't relax, walk normally. We can't even walk together. She likes to have no drafts and I need only fresh air. We can't even sleep in the same room because she needs everything to be closed and I need everything to be open. And how can we live together? And then I opened a Tao treatise. There is such an ancient Chinese Tao scholar, and there is a section, Happy Family Life, Complete Compatibility. Such a phrase, complete compatibility. And it says, slow, fast, fast, slow, neat, messy, messy, neat, and so on. It turns out that this is harmony, plus and minus, this is harmony, plus and minus, this is harmony. The problem is simply that we want to enjoy life. We don't want to work on ourselves, so learn to cooperate. You're walking together, you need to go fast, she needs to go slow, so cooperate. Learn to love each other. I come home, my wife is very neat, everything must shine. I walk on tiptoes around the house, I'm learning to cooperate. You just have to live like this, that's all. This is harmony. You are the goddess of chaos, and he is a neat freak. Good, excellent, this is harmony. Next note. I want to know your opinion. I am married, have a child. We would like to have a second one, but I haven't been able to get pregnant for 7 years. What is the reason? You know, I advise you not to look too much for the reason. Know that you are sick. This is a disease. There are subtle causes of infertility. There are physical ones. You can come to us for treatment or find a doctor in your area. Maybe it will be cheaper, more reliable. Treat yourself with traditional methods, herbs, healthy lifestyle, exercises, yoga, fasting, cleansing of the body. These are effective methods for treating infertility. Don't treat yourself with hormonal pills. Don't do IVF. These are already the last stages, complete hopelessness. Treat yourself with natural methods like cleansing of the body, herbs, fasting, yoga, fresh air, walks in the forest, or along a beautiful embankment. Do something with your fate. Don't sit at home and grieve. If you can't heal yourself, then you can come to us. Many women have cured infertility. One woman didn't even have periods at all. First we started her periods, then she got pregnant, and it was difficult for her to carry the baby. We treated her for this too. She carried the baby to term and gave birth. We worked with her remotely. She lives in Riga, this girl. Now she has a good, beautiful child. What's the reason? There can be many reasons. You just need to get treatment. There are 2 ways to treat yourself. This is a healthy lifestyle. Listen to lectures on healthy lifestyle, and you don't need to necessarily act in some direction, just general recommendations. Do Hatha Yoga, cleanse your body. Eating raw vegetables is good for women. They cleanse subtle energy channels well, and drink raw vegetable juices. For example, fresh air, walks on the ground near a river improve female hormonal functions. Eat more dairy products. Next, fasting, various exercises, all this cleanses the subtle channels plus prayer, which gives a good mood. When a woman is in a good mood, her hormonal functions are immediately activated. When it's bad, they immediately start to work worse. Next note, please advise how to act in such a situation. 5 years ago, a week before our silver wedding anniversary, my husband left our family for a young woman, the same age as our youngest son. After 4 years, we divorced legally at my husband's initiative. We are still married in the church. My husband doesn't go to church to annul our union. He doesn't engage in an honest conversation with me. What should I do? A girl approached me yesterday with a similar question. Move forward. If you sit in one place and grieve, nothing will happen. I'm telling you the method. We find an object of worship, a holy person. We need the sun so that the darkness of life dissipates. Darkness means ignorance, suffering, sadness in the heart. There can be darkness outside and there can be darkness in the heart. You need to dispel the darkness in the heart. For this, you need to contact the sun. And the sun is a holy person. You need to place an image of a holy person or a holy place, bow to it, establish a relationship with it in the form of service, mentally wash the feet of this person, bow, kiss the feet. I want to serve you. Please help me cleanse my consciousness. I don't need to think now about whether my husband will return or not. I just want purity in life. I just want to become a dignified person. I want to follow your instructions. I want to study how to live right. I want mercy and knowledge from you. I want to receive the light of knowledge. I wish happiness to everyone. I wish happiness to everyone. Or a person reads prayers and bows and thinks about other people. I want to distract myself from myself. I'm tired of thinking that my husband won't come back to me. I want to live for others. I'm tired of thinking about myself already. How much longer? Will he come? Won't he come? Will he come? Won't he come? You can go crazy from this. I don't want to think about myself. I want to think about others. That's it. I'm going to help people. As soon as a person starts acting like this, they remove the feeling of a burden from their heart. It immediately becomes easier. Gradually, at first, calmness comes from within. I can live without a husband too. After all, I have children. I can live without a husband. I can live happily on my own. I don't need to think that fate has tortured me, wounded me. I can live without what was taken from me. But the husband is still in the heart anyway. There is a connection. The test is not passed. Then we begin to cleanse the relationship. Remember the first meeting. Bright memories come. Try to understand why this happened. Why did he leave after all? Then gradually, as a result of further prayer, knowledge appears about why he left. That life turned out this way because I behaved in a certain way. That's it. You continue to pray. Knowledge appears about how to cleanse the relationship. Bright memories of the person emerge. You already call him saying, "How are you doing? Is everything okay in your life?" "Well, thank God. I'm glad that we lived together for so long. I'm very happy about our relationship, everything that happened. I'm grateful to fate for everything that we had." Then he comes to visit and says, I have a feeling that I felt better when you called. I want to come visit you, communicate. I'll be living with that girl, but you are also my family. I want to come to you and find out how things are going since you now treat me so well. Thank you for this. I'm very grateful to you. That's it. The relationship begins to recover. Then he will be drawn more to the family, and gradually over time, he may still decide to stay with that girl and cross out God's will in his life. And you will feel relief in your heart when you fulfill your duty to him completely. Relief will come in your heart, and immediately another person will appear in your life if you want it yourself. That's the whole story. You understand? And it's always like this in everything. How many notes? They all mean, I don't want to work on myself. That's it. They only mean, my dear friends, I don't want to or I can't. I can't and I don't want to. Next note, I have problems with hairdressers. Every time I explain that the hair needs to be cut only by 2 centimeters, but they cut it by 10, every time it brings me to tears. I know that a woman's strength is in her hair, so this is very important to me. You see, there's no problem with a man. Good health, but problems must exist somewhere in life, problems with hairdressers. The more a person becomes attached to something in life, karma begins to act through this. Let's say a girl wants her face to be even more beautiful. She starts applying creams, applying more, and it gradually becomes sensitive. Because she focuses her consciousness on it, where a person's false ego goes, sensitivity appears there. Let's say the false ego goes to the face becomes very sensitive, and no cream will work anymore, and the face will be constantly irritated. Similarly, when the false ego goes to the hair, look, I'm worried about the sound. I tap on the microphone thinking, is the sound good or not good? You see, the problem with the sound engineer is already tense. I just looked at him, he started turning the knob. Although the sound was perfectly set up, you understand? He started turning it. Why? Because I got tense. I went to the hairdresser. I look at them. They become tense. What to do to make her satisfied? Well, I'll cut a little more. When people get tense, they want to even everything out all the time to make it better. As a result, they cut off a little more, even it out. She sits there getting even more tense. A vicious circle. You need to go to the hairdresser, sit down and say, cut as much as you want. You can even make me bald. But I would like you to cut only 2 centimeters. You don't have to even it out. Just cut a little, and that's it. In order to behave like this, you need to pray first because the volume of work is in the hair. Bow to a holy person. Lord, I want you to detach me from my hair. Please help me. I'm so attached to my hair. He will detach you and you'll think, thank God, Dr. Torsunov, thank you, it helped me. Now they cut 15 centimeters, no problem. I have the same problem. I'm always in a hurry everywhere, and my wife's friend cuts my hair. I notice that if I relax, just sit there completely relaxed, no matter how long the haircut takes, she quickly cuts my hair. As soon as I start to get tense about her taking too long, she gets flustered, nervous, and it takes more and more time, up to a whole hour, and I need to do other things too. The same thing. I also have problems with hair, so you've come to the wrong person. If I have a problem with hair, I won't be able to help you with your hair problem. I remembered a joke that points out that people have different problems. They often don't understand each other's problems. A rich man meets an old friend. The rich man is fat and healthy, while his friend is thin. And the rich one says, well, how are you doing, brother? He replies, I'm not eating enough. The rich man looks at him and says, what do you mean you're not eating enough? You have to force yourself. They just have different lives. So someone worries about the hairdresser, someone because their husband left. You see, everyone has a different life. Next note, several times I tried to be a housewife, dealing only with home and family. This is fanaticism. You shouldn't be just a housewife. You need to combine both. I could only manage for 1.5 to 2 years. Then I returned to work again. At work, I achieved good results. At the moment, I again have a desire to give myself to my family. Can you explain why, after some period, I'm drawn back to work? You understand? Women's psyche is unstable. It flows like a river, constantly moving. A woman's mind doesn't stay in one place, so she is pulled in different directions, and she is constantly moving. One woman asked a question. Dr. Torsunov, tell me, what kind of work fits my purpose? I said, what have you been doing? I've been doing this and that. And why do you leave one job for another? The woman, I feel that this is not my purpose. I said, no, not for that reason. She said, then for what reason? For the reason that you simply get bored. You work in one place, you get bored, now you want to change work, do something else. This is how a woman's nature is designed. She gets bored with everything. Now she needs one thing, then another. For example, how my wife eats. She eats one thing, then thinks, now I'll eat this. She eats something else, then she eats a third, fourth, fifth thing, because she constantly gets bored. And I eat the same thing all my life because I'm a man. For a woman, everything is constantly changing. Her mind moves, she creates one image for herself, thinks about it, and changes her image. Every woman constantly moves in her own direction. Someone changes their image, someone changes their job. The main thing is not to change men. A woman's mind is mobile, so she changes everything. Sometimes she decides to stay more at home, so she stays. Sometimes she decides to work more. She works. The most important thing is that a man should be strong and ready for everything. His wife wanted this, lived like that. Now she wanted something else. He must be ready for everything. A man should know that a woman will not always be in the same state. Everything always changes, and this way life becomes more interesting for the whole family. A woman makes family life interesting this way. Now she wants one thing, then another. She started listening to some lectures. Now some Dr. Torsunov has appeared. One thing, then another. Men can't keep up with women. They can't keep up. Everything is constantly changing for them. Okay, Dr. Torsunov appeared. She listens to lectures. God be with him. She's not going to parties or dates. She's just listening to lectures. So what happened next? She started getting up early, mumbling something under her breath, not letting me sleep, throwing meat out of the refrigerator. What a nightmare. What kind of life is this? One man came to me and said, Dr. Torsunov, I came to the lecture specifically to tell you that life has turned into hell. And his wife was standing nearby, completely innocent. Women are always very sincere, correct, and there's nothing to accuse them of. I said, I understand you. I have the same thing constantly. First one thing, then another. He said, does your wife also constantly take all kinds of courses, lectures? I told him, she does exactly the same. Sometimes she starts practicing astrology, then something else. Everything is constantly changing. I can't keep up either. The man, I understand, I sympathize with you, and I sympathize with you. That's how we agreed. Next note, huge gratitude for the meditative setup at the end of the lecture. This is not a meditative setup, but a prayer one. Meditation is an activity of the mind. Meditation is when the mind gets in tune with something. If you think I am a pole, I am a pole, I am a pole, then the mind becomes like a pole. Meditation is connecting the mind with something. I am the sun, I am a big bright sun. I am air, I am happiness, I am sadness, I am joy, and so on. This is meditation. And when a person repeats, I wish happiness to everyone, this is not the activity of the mind, this is the activity of intelligence. Intelligence wins over bad fate, the mind does not. Intelligence is able to achieve goals in life and receive happiness from this goal, but the mind is not capable of this. The mind can only connect with what it knows. Intelligence can find something new in life. It can completely change life. Life can completely change if a person engages in the activity of intelligence. Therefore, people are recommended not meditation but prayer or positive attitude. Meditation is not needed, prayer is needed, listening to the sound is needed. You need to move forward with sound. A wife opens the door, sees a man lying near the door, sobering up. She says, "Why didn't you get home?" He replies, "I knocked, but I asked who was there, if it was you or not." And I nodded my head. This is meditation. Meditation means activity in the mind, but it doesn't change life. To avoid lying near the door, you need sound. Sound is needed, sound defeats fate. The mind is not able to defeat fate because the mind itself is inside fate. It's like trying to pull yourself out of a swamp on your own. Intelligence is needed. You need to connect a person in the swamp with a rope to something outside. This rope from outside is called faith. Faith is when I see that there is a rope. And the rope itself points to a goal. There is some kind of goal, and this goal pulls me out of the swamp. This happens with the help of intelligence. The mind cannot attach itself to the rope, only intelligence can. This is how fate works. If a person prays, they pull themselves out of the swamp. If a person dreams, thinks about something, meditates, they don't pull themselves out. Sound is needed. And the sound must be very focused, firm, attentive, persistent, constant. Please forgive me, please forgive me. Even if we direct the sound to a close person, it still gives 100% result. It's better to direct the sound to a holy person because we don't have the strength to overcome our fate. If we had the strength, it would already be overcome. This all happens automatically between hearts. It happens by itself. A chemical reaction occurs between hearts by itself, and life is restored. If a person leaves, it is impossible to bring them back. You don't have your own strength. Pray, act, direct your focus towards holiness so that your heart becomes joyful and bright. Next note, tell me who is the performer and what prayer was performed. You will find thousands of such prayers on the internet. I have a recording of the choir of brothers from a monastery. I like it. I like the prayer, "Rejoice, O Virgin Mother of God." I looked at 10 different versions of the performance, chose one. I felt it in my soul. I liked it. Yesterday we played the voice of a Vedic saint. His name is Vinod Agrawal. We have recordings on our website that you can download. He is an exalted person. Don't think that this is all limiting. Today I might play Muslim music, such chants that praise the 99 names of Allah, and with them we will wish happiness to everyone. Search for your own. I give you an idea of how to do it. You have your own faith, your own culture, find your own. It's best if the source of sound, the one who prays, and the saint whom you worship is the same person. This will be even better. But not necessarily. You can simply listen to any person who can pray and worship the object of your holiness, your shrine. Every Sunday, for 4 years already, most of the employees of my medical center gather early in the morning, without strangers, and I read some preparatory instructions before prayer starts. We play the voice of a holy person and pray, first setup, then prayer, then discussion. And so deeper we immerse ourselves in this topic. Sometimes we gather together to change something. One of us ended up in intensive care. He wasn't breathing, poisoned by botulism toxin. Half of his body was paralyzed. And this person was on artificial respiration. We started praying. First I started praying on my own. I felt that I couldn't help, that he would die. We prayed together, and after a few hours he started breathing. So we all got together, prayed, and during the prayer I felt the result, that he would start breathing, that life would flow in his body. And he gradually started breathing again, the paralysis went away, and his vision was almost restored, and he became a normal person. This is an enormous power. You can change everything in life. You can overcome one's fate if you're not lazy. But if you're lazy, then Dr. Torsunov, what should I do? Life is so difficult, so difficult. Next note, a woman started having female health problems after getting married. I won't answer these questions. I have lectures on healthy lifestyle, health consultations on the internet. Please study them. Right now we're having a lecture about family. Next note, I don't love my husband anymore. What should I do? I'm starting to get irritated with my children. Good question. In a person's psyche, coldness toward a loved one changes to warmth. It cannot be constantly warm. Sometimes coldness toward a close person arises, sometimes warmth, it comes in waves, sometimes more love, sometimes less, sometimes more warmth, sometimes less. Our interaction is constantly changing. But if you care for your loved one, if you work on yourself, take care of them, then this external coldness and warmth doesn't bother you at all. Right now, according to the astrological period, I should feel coldness toward my wife, but there is no coldness because I care for her constantly and receive gratitude in return. That's all. That means love. You see, if we wait for feelings toward a loved one, that's not love, that's a dependent position. Wanting feelings toward a loved one means laziness of the soul. If you want love, then don't wait for feelings, just take care of your loved one, and that's it. As the song goes, and you're so cold, like an iceberg in the ocean, and all your sorrows are behind the dark water. If you like living this way, live this way. I'm suggesting you live a bit better. And there's nothing you can do about it. Now raise your hand if you currently feel coldness toward a loved one. Who else? Who? You feel coldness. Yes, I see. It started 1.5 years ago. It will gradually end in about 7 months. You'll wait 7 more months. Take care of your loved one, then warmth will begin.
Can you check my situation?
What about me? What about me? What about mine? You want warmth, right? Yours is almost over. Yes, a couple of months left. There will be warmth. But we don't want to work on ourselves, Dr. Torsunov. We want hocus pocus. Have you watched the cartoon Boniface Visiting Grandma? There was hocus pocus there. Boniface came to rest at his grandmother's and showed the monkeys how he juggled, and the monkeys kept him completely busy. He had to run back from his grandmother's. Let's learn to change our lives and not turn Dr. Torsunov into Boniface visiting his grandmother. You know, people often live in their own fenced-off space, each with their own life, their own fate. And most people think that I have it worse than others. I am unlucky. Others have ideal husbands, but mine is a bringer of misfortune. You see, this is just your limited perception of this world. This world is woven from nothing but difficulties. In this world, everyone has it equally hard. Everyone equally experiences suffering, obstacles, difficulties in this world. In the end, the final difficulty is passing away. This world is not designed for having fun. Everyone here has only difficulties, and this world is designed only for becoming happy. There is no other purpose. And how can this be done? Only in one way. I already tell you about this method at every lecture. Stop being lazy in your soul. The soul must work day and night, day and night. Laziness of the soul means depression, despair. Things are bad in my life. I am unlucky. What should I do? As in the song, night knocks on the window like an apple. I was young in soul, but now I'm an old man. There is such a song, night knocks on the window like an apple, meaning the person can't sleep. Why can't he sleep? Because he wants happiness, he wants happiness. But it's gone, and why is it gone? Because a person's life has its own waves, its own periods. There is a period of rest in life, or rest from life, meaning a happy period of life. When God gives us the opportunity to rest from life, He gives us what we call life. I was living normally, but now yellow leaves are circling over the city. Remember, life is when difficulties arise, and the sleep of the soul is when everything is good. Why would God make the sleep of the soul last long? Well, we slept a little, enjoyed family life. Now we need to work. Now there will be difficulties. Why does God send difficulties? So that we change, so that we become better. He sends us difficulties so that we develop as individuals. He gives us trials for this. Do you think God sends me trials or not? I seem to pray every day, work on myself. God sends trials to me too. He sends me trials that are difficult for me. Simple things that you ask me, for example, questions like, Dr. Torsunov, I got offended at my husband, what should I do? For me, this is just an hour of prayer, and that's it. And then there's no offense, everything is great. God doesn't send me such difficulties. He sends me ones that are hard for me. In this regard, there's a good joke I like, a military one, but it's right on topic. I always talk about how this world was created. When I went to the army, I ended up in a training unit. There was a lot of snow there. and we dug snow all day long. That's why I understand this joke. It's close to me. A person gets to a training unit, and the warrant officer gives him a small crowbar and says, "Go, sweep the parade ground." He sweeps and sweeps, says, "Give me a broom, I'll sweep faster and better." The warrant officer replies, "I don't need you to sweep faster and better." "Then what do you need?" "I need you to get exhausted." That's how our life is arranged. God doesn't need us to be faster and better. He needs us to get exhausted. He needs us to understand that we can't live like this, that we need to change something in our lives. Everything in this world is created for this purpose, not for everything to be good. That's the goal. If everything is fine, thank God we continue to sleep. Sleep of the soul. The soul sleeps in such a state. There is no life. When does life begin? When difficulties come into life, the soul wakes up. It wants to sleep more, but it's not allowed to sleep. It wonders, what's the matter? Why was I abandoned? And so on. Good, so the work of the soul begins from this moment. First, the soul screams, doesn't want to work. It screams, demands the continuation of the party, but there is no party. What to do? Go to the lecture, listen to what to do. In reality, everything is very simple. Just start a life where there is no sleep of the soul, but there is work of the soul. Wake up early in the morning, begin prayer in your culture, in your tradition. We've repeated this 1,000 times already. Nothing needs to be changed in this regard. What needs to be changed is the approach to life. We should listen to the voice of someone who knows how to do this, because intelligence adopts experience, just as the fragrance from one flower is transferred to another by the bee. Similarly, the carriers of spiritual knowledge are people who engage in spiritual practice. Listen to their voice, and you will feel what is right through them. Find the person who is closest to you. If you feel that they pray in a way you like, then this is surely your path. Listen to their voice, pray exactly as they do in the literal sense. As a child repeats after their mother, so should you repeat after the holy person, like a child, not understanding what to do. Bow to the holy person. You say, "I don't know what to do with this image of the holy person." It's clear that you don't know because you've never encountered this before. You say, "I don't feel this holy person." Of course, you don't feel anything because you don't know how to feel yet. Everything is just beginning in your life. Start bowing and they will become closer to you. Understand that for the mental space there is no distance, there are no barriers. Yesterday a woman approached me and said, "A loved one passed away 15 years ago and I can't forget him." "Why forget?" She said, "Well, how can I live further?" I said, "Just wish him happiness, be happy for him." I said, "I can even feel him next to you right now. He remains beside you and suffers because you don't have knowledge. You don't understand that people cannot part, no matter where a person has gone. If you remember them, they are next to you. You can remember a holy person in the same way, they will also be next to you. But if an ordinary person brings suffering, it's because they feel bad there and you feel bad here. As in the song, "I stand on one side and you on the other." What a spring it turned out to be. What days have come. What did you take offense at? Why did we part? We are imperfect people, we constantly have some problems. But a holy person has no problems. They are like the sun. They shine, give purity. They won't get tired of giving because they are constantly connected with God. Tune into them and there will be enough for everyone, for you, for your child, for those who have passed away, and even for your pregnant dog. She will give birth to her puppies normally. The purpose of life is holiness, purity. I'm telling you this as a witness, I have seen how people pass away and go to higher abodes. I can feel the subtle energy body. I can understand where a person moves after life. I have seen how people who live for holiness go to higher abodes, to pure spheres of life, how they become well and happy afterward. I have also seen those who pass away and find themselves in bewilderment. I live in the south. Hot-tempered people live there. When such a hot-tempered person gets behind the wheel of a car, they want to drive once, but for real. And sometimes it turns out to be just once. As a result, once I was driving in my car, and I saw such a daredevil lying in front of his car, already dead. But I didn't look at this man, I looked at what was happening with his psyche, with his subtle energy body. And the subtle energy body has already risen above the physical body. He has already left his body. This man stopped being a daredevil at that moment. He looked around. He was aware of himself in the subtle energy body and understood nothing, thinking, "Where am I? What happened?" And he didn't know that there was another life. You will be held accountable for the way you've lived your life. If you killed yourself, you will also answer for that. You will have to answer for everything. And that man didn't get at all where he had ended up. You understand? And to understand it, you need to study what life is. How much longer do we have to live in this body? Well, 20, 30, maybe 40 years. They will flow by like a single moment. I'm 50 now and I didn't notice how it happened. Didn't notice that I'm already 50, didn't notice at all. But since I haven't lived my life in vain, I want to tell you one thing. During prayer, I sometimes feel where I will go next, and my heart is filled with joy. But many of you don't feel that fullness. Instead, your hearts are filled with fear for your future. What does this tell us? That you are living incorrectly. Incorrectly, my dears, how do you determine if you're living correctly? When you live correctly, then everything works out. This is the first sign. Everything works out. Relationships get better. Your heart feels lighter. There's more joy, more happiness in life. The Lord responds from the heart to our correct path. He gives us joy when we follow the right path. He says, "Go on, my good one, go on. You don't have much time left in this body. Do the most important thing. Understand that there is holiness in this life. Understand that you are a soul. Understand that there is God. Understand that if you live an inner life, not an external one, you will solve everything much faster." For example, a person cannot find a job. What should they do? Run around, look for this job? No. The Vedas explain that there is pre-action and there is action. Pre-action means filling your heart with the necessary strength to find a job. And then everything will happen smoothly. As in one song, suddenly, as in a fairy tale, the door creaked. Everything became clear to me now. For a long time I argued with fate for the sake of this meeting with you. For a long time I sailed across the seas. I know it wasn't in vain. It wasn't for nothing. Sail across the seas in your heart. You don't need to run anywhere. Put something sacred before you. Some say, "Dr. Torsunov, I don't have anything sacred." Well, get something if you don't have it. It's easier than even buying sausage. Go to any monastery shop. Ask there, "Do you have images of any holy people?" The old lady will say that they have plenty, and she will give you one option, a second option, as many as you want. If you don't like it, search the internet for holy people and you'll find them there. If you find some strange group of holy people there, that's not what you need. You need to look for something truly sacred. And if you found something sacred but see that this tradition doesn't suit you, fine. There are many spiritual traditions. Choose another one. Find any for yourself. Nobody forbids it. You've chosen a holy person for yourself. Don't like the holy person? Okay, then a holy place. Don't like Jerusalem, for example? Okay, then Mecca. Don't like Mecca? Okay, Vrindavan. Don't like a large holy place? Okay, here's the Wailing Wall. This is a small holy place. Worship it. But do something. Do you understand? Find something for yourself. When we search for naked bottoms on the internet, there are so many options and offers. But when it comes to a holy person, people don't know where to find one. Just use your brain a little, make a little effort. This is more necessary for your life than a naked bottom. Try to understand this. Today one naked bottom, tomorrow another, but a holy person is for life. So you found one. You say, "I don't have a connection. Maybe they're not holy at all?" Don't worry. If a person engages in spiritual practice, you will still learn something from them. This is better than sitting on a potty and straining, trying to overcome your fate associated with constipation. That means someone needs to help. Don't worry whether that person is very holy or not very holy. Don't worry about it. You don't need to worry about it. If you are very hungry, it's enough to at least eat something. You don't need to eat the best food. Just eat something and you'll already be full. The soul is hungry, you see. It doesn't connect with God. It lives in depression, in suffering, in separation, in anguish, joylessness, loneliness, and so on. Your eyes are not filled with happiness. There is no contact with holiness. Just find someone. Don't think that you necessarily need the best right away. You don't need the best, just someone. Start bowing to someone who simply lived a righteous life. Start bowing to them, and you will immediately feel purity from them. There is purity in every person. Dr. Torsunov, is it okay to bow to you, to your photograph? No. I'll answer right away. My wife doesn't allow it. There are many other reasons. There are monks. There are people who have dedicated their lives purely to spiritual practice. Just put up an image of a person, do something to be closer to purity, to holiness. Start bowing, overcome your selfishness. When I first entered a church, I'm not Orthodox, but I was studying what worship is. I just wanted to bow, try to bow, and I literally broke into a sweat the first time. It was so difficult for me to simply bow. But then it gradually became normal. A person gets used to everything. Just understand why it needs to be done. Without the sun, there is no light. Light is needed. We believe in people. Dr. Torsunov, my loved one left me. What should I do? But a person is not the sun. They're a small light bulb. You see, they fell under fate. under the influence of fate, and were washed away. They cannot help you fully like God can. When a person thinks about God, they are filled with radiance, they become holy. Radiance is the energy of happiness that you need in life. It comes directly from Him. And it also comes from holy places. You just need contact. Contact means service. Just start bowing and you will feel how it becomes easier for you right away. Yesterday we repeated, I wish happiness to everyone. We played the voice of an ordinary exalted person. There are thousands of such people on earth. Did it feel good? Many felt how good it was, but why? It doesn't have to be this particular person. There are many like them. Just understand the principle of what to do. A person's life should be in the heart. One should be living in the heart, not outside blah, 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 football, movies. At least an hour a day, one should live an inner life, and all problems will be solved, every single one. Everything you've written to me, all the notes, I'm sure everything can be solved, every single thing. If a person doesn't return, then God will give another. If they passed away, you will help them and help yourself. I work with a colleague whose wife's mother passed away. They started doing everything according to the lectures. They put up an image of a holy person, started bowing, but the mother went down. There are 3 options. The first option, when a loved one passes away, heaviness in the heart occurs, like a feeling of a burden, which means the person went down. If there's heat in the heart, it means they'll be reborn somewhere on earth. And if there's lightness and joy in the heart, it means they went up and now will help you in life. They are already an elevated personality. They passed their exams in life. And by your heart, you can determine where the person went. If both have a feeling of a burden, they feel bad, it's difficult, life is hard because this person requires energy. When people pass away, they need strength, but they don't have strength. I didn't know it could be so difficult when a loved one passes away. I say, everything is normal. Everything will be fine now. We sat down. I say, here's an image of a holy person, we should pray. We started praying, it got easier, then even easier, and so it lasted 4 months. And then the mother comes to her daughter in a dream. And after 4 months I say, guys, she will soon be rising. Probably you have already burned all her sins for her entire life with your prayers. This is how a person simply bows to a holy person and all sins are burned away. Especially when a person passes away, it happens very quickly. And the mother comes to her daughter in a dream, so joyful, happy, and says, daughter, thank you. You are so good. I never thought about this. I didn't know. And she flew up so happy. Everything became easy for the daughter. There was no need to pray anymore. Everything was good. They overcame fate. Raise your hand if you've had this experience.
I want to tell you about my father. He passed away 10 years ago.
What did you feel in your heart?
I experienced pure goodness, I don't know, some kind of divine energy.
Was there heaviness? If not, then we won't talk with you. We need something else. Let's pass the microphone to someone who initially had heaviness in their heart. The woman with glasses, please, over there. You felt heaviness and then something changed, right? Pass the microphone to her. Divine light means they went up. That's not interesting to us. We're interested in when they go down.
There was heaviness. For a very long time, I couldn't even think about him.
You couldn't even think about him? It was difficult? That's definitely downward, 100%. And what did you do? Now I need your experience. Did the heaviness in your heart become less?
Yes, the heaviness became less.
Did you feel relief in your heart like it let go, or did you not feel it? Is there still a little bit left? I also feel that a little bit remains. He's still down there, he's still down below. Understand that this prayer is ineffective. My Lord, forgive his sins. This is an ineffective prayer. The most effective prayer is to think about God. The Lord himself knows what to do. You don't need to ask him about it. I want to serve you. I wish happiness to everyone. Repeat God's name. Rejoice in him. Rejoice in the Mother of God. Rejoice in God. Worship him. I want to live for you. And your loved one sits in your heart. That's a fact. They haven't gone anywhere. And since you are connected with God at this time and joyfully serve him, not wanting anything for yourself, then everything burns away very quickly in your heart. And there won't be even a shadow of heaviness left at all. After another month, if you pray like this, you won't have any heaviness left. Only joy will remain in your heart. And that's it. Only joy. You're a good girl. You can help this person from this life.
My father died 3 years ago.
Not died, but passed away. He is alive. He was a kind, attentive person. He had a good memory. He was tall. Was he a teacher?
He wasn't exactly a teacher, but everyone considered him as such.
I see this person. Where do you think I get the image of him? This person exists. He is alive. We can feel him. He is nearby. There is no death. There is life, only life. There is happiness and degradation. If a person doesn't know how to be happy, they become unhappy. That's it. There's nothing more to it. Now tell me.
I didn't let him go for a long time. I felt his presence.
Not letting go means I want to enjoy the person, but I should take care of them.
I started to take care, pray, and after 2 weeks I also started offering blessed food. After 2 weeks it became much easier. That quickly.
But he hasn't yet left the lower planets. A little more, just a bit more. The last battle is the hardest. Continue working a bit more and he will go up. Keep fighting for your happiness. Just because it's ease doesn't mean you should stop. You need to go all the way to victory, to endless happiness in your heart.
Now I have incorrect feelings. Does it mean I need to reach the light feeling now?
Incorrect means that he's neither here nor there. That means you need to give him the opportunity to go up, only upward. All loved ones should only go upward. They shouldn't go down. You should have bright memories of him. Only bright memories, joy, that's it, nothing more. This is how a person should live, should overcome everything in their life, everything connected to them. There should be no defeats. You can be infinitely happy, simply work on it, and that's all. Fear interferes. The feeling that I can't do it interferes. You need to move forward boldly. Do not be afraid. So let's move forward. Let me start talking about some fundamental things in general. They will help you. The first thing to understand is to distract yourself from problems associated with a specific person. Don't think about them as the source of your problems. Distract yourself. As long as you are attached to a person, to a personality, you won't be able to change your life for the better. As long as your mind is focused on the source of pain, life will be in a state of hopelessness. The more we are fixated on the source of pain, the more painful it becomes, and this will continue endlessly with nothing changing. Distract yourself, just do something else. You don't need to constantly think about how bad everything is. It will get worse and worse. It's a vicious circle that will never end, and you won't find a way out of the labyrinth. Force yourself to care about the spiritual atmosphere in your home. Play spiritual music in your spiritual tradition. If your loved ones get nervous when you play it, then play it more quietly. If they get nervous even when it's quiet, play it in your earphones. Even if you play it in your earphones, it will still affect everyone. That's the law. Your atmosphere of life is shared. You make efforts to save the atmosphere, which means everything related to degradation in your life will decrease. The more light, the less darkness. When possible, hang images of holy people in your apartment. The more of these images, the more elevated, pure, and bright contacts with people you will have. Once the seniors at our clinic and I decided to have a meeting, and as we started the meeting, we felt that everything was working out easily. All issues were resolved. We began to analyze what was happening. Why did it go this way? And we saw that we were in a room with a large portrait of Mother Teresa in my office. You understand? Mother Teresa, was helping. We felt this influence from her. Just hang small portraits and life will already be easier. Just play the voice of a holy person. When you cook, don't think about feeding your cat. Otherwise the food will be blessed by the cat. Don't think about feeding your son. Otherwise the food will be blessed by your son's sins. Don't think about feeding your husband. Otherwise the food will be blessed by your husband's sins. Think about praying to God when you cook food. Just read a prayer or play a prayer if it's difficult for you and you can't concentrate on cooking. Play a prayer and this food will become blessed. Then it will even free your cat's sins. It will free everyone from sins in your house. These simple things will help you really change your life completely, at least half an hour a day. You don't have an hour a day. Do you know why you don't have an hour a day? Because you don't know why you need it, so you say, I don't have an hour a day to pray, Dr. Torsunov. I'm busy. I give this example. If you're not married and you fall in love, will you find time for a date today? Will you find it today or not? You will find it. And who wouldn't find time? Raise your hand if there are such people who wouldn't find time for a date. There's one person who wouldn't find time for a date. Well, I won't ask why. I hope everything will be good for you. It's the same with your relationship with God. 15 minutes, 20, 30 minutes a day is quite enough for life to start changing. Quite enough. Sit straight near the altar and don't sleep. There are different body positions that give strength. For example, the kneeling pose teaches a person to overcome obstacles. Praying while standing teaches patience, the ability to endure everything. You can sit on your buttocks, then willpower develops. There is the butterfly pose, feet together like this, and knees turned outward like this. This position helps to get rid of excessive sexual desire and helps women to have good hormonal functions. Just pray in this position, keeping feet together, knees apart, and all hormonal functions will work normally. Nothing else needs to be done, because the energies of prayer are the best energies that heal a person. You don't need to think about this either. You need to think about a holy person. Everything will happen by itself. So there are body positions that give strength to a person. You need to sit still during prayer. The body first gets numb, then heaviness appears, then lightness. Energy channels open up, and so a person gradually recovers through healing practice. Know that during prayer you must not rely only on yourself. When you start all this activity, it's essential that the voice of an elevated person is nearby. You need to listen to their voice and also pray like they do. For example, we play the same voice as yesterday. Don't repeat, listen to me. I wish happiness to everyone. I wish happiness to everyone. I wish happiness to everyone. So I chant together with him and I get strength, such a strong feeling. Now I read alone. I wish happiness to everyone. It seems the heart hits against something. There is no strength in it. Do you understand? When a person doesn't rely on holiness, they have no strength. They have no inner capability. It's better to repeat a prayer with someone who gives strength, with a person who has this power. They are connected to God, and I am not. I need contact, electrical contact with God. This contact is provided by sound, through the voice of an elevated person, especially if you like their mood. Every elevated person's voice has a unique mood in it. Everyone has their own. You understand? When a person is spiritually developed, they like all these moods, but still, they choose one particular mood as their main one. So prayer begins with a voice, the voice of a holy person and your voice. Repeat as they do and unite with them. Then, further, there is also the mind. Voice means intelligence. Intelligence went forward, but there is still the mind. Karma is located in the mind, so that the mind doesn't get distracted. Oh, I need to go to work. How long can I pray? I need to cook faster. Don't disturb me, and so on. The mind is constantly distracted. Everything irritates. Flies start flying immediately. I had such a situation. I was praying in summer. It was hot, early morning. And there was one fly. Flies look for sweet taste and they are envious. When a person eats or sleeps, the fly buzzes and disturbs their enjoyment of life. I started to bow, sat down to pray, and it started to disturb my enjoyment of life. I prayed, rejoiced in life. It disturbed me and didn't let me concentrate. I accepted this fate. I prayed. My fate was represented by this fly. I started bowing to it. Fly, you are my fate, that's it. I bow to you, my dear one. I humbly endure your character. Torture me further. I will not retreat. I will pray. Can you imagine what happened next? The fly simply has no brains at all, you understand? Your husband is much smarter. A fly is an ordinary insect, you understand? No brains. Can you imagine? It flew around, and probably its conscience woke up. It sat down in front of me. Can you imagine? I was praying. It sat down like this, froze and looked at me. It started to worship. I turned out to be a holy person for it. It sat frozen throughout the entire prayer. I prayed, I thought about a holy person, I overcame fate. The fly was sitting in front of me and listening, but the story didn't end there. The next day, this fly, when I started praying, flew in, sat down again, and this continued for many days in a row. You understand? As soon as I started praying, it came flying, then landed and listened. Even a fly gets inspired by prayer. Won't that move you? Let's say another option. Actually, it's not my faith, not mine at all, but there is power. In any faith, there is power. For example, Muslim faith. I set myself up for it. Don't repeat anything, just listen. Watch how I do it. I repeat. Let's compare. I repeat now. I wish happiness to everyone. I wish happiness to everyone. Did you feel the mood? Yes? Did you feel my voice? This is the mood I have. Now the second option, let's look at another option. This mood also gives victory, but it's a different mood, a different option. I wish happiness to everyone. 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 It's not my faith, but the heart rejoices anyway. Do you feel it? Power, spiritual power enters the ear. If you repeat, do the same thing. Power appears inside. The heart rejoices. Strength and the ability to overcome fate appear in the heart. Where are the obstacles? Show me the way. Where are the obstacles? Show me the way. Show me where the obstacles are. I want victory. This is how prayer begins. Then a person begins to listen. Then the activity of the mind is also needed. The activity of the mind means holiness. You need to see the image. The mind is connected with the image. If intelligence is connected with sound, the mind is connected with the image of an exalted person. We bow to them in our mind. We listen to the sound. We repeat the prayer just as the holy person does. We bow to the holy person, bad thoughts leave. People tell me, but I might get distracted. Thoughts are engaged in bowing. Think about the holy person. How do you think about them? Look at their image, bow, perceive them as an exalted person. Look for purity in them, try to contact, feel that they're alive, try to understand that this person exists. This person hasn't gone anywhere even if they're painted on an icon. You will feel this person really just as I felt this girl's father. I really felt this person. The same with an icon, it's very easy. After 5-10 minutes, and you will feel that there is contact. You feel contact with this person, light will immediately come from them. You understand? And your life will be filled with light. A small soul can burn like the sun if it contacts the sun, or it can rot if it communicates with such people. It all depends on what the soul is filled with. If you are filled with sunshine every day, your life will be enlightened. The lives of your relatives will be enlightened. According to the Vedas, if a person completely enlightens their whole life and gets rid of all sins, they become like a burning light bulb. They become light. The Vedas explain 12 generations before and 12 generations after, all their relatives are cleansed from sins. Can you imagine how many people? This cleanses tens of thousands of people. One becomes a guardian angel for all these people. We have connections even with those relatives we don't know. We all live as one whole. We have many connections in this world. In this life we have certain relatives. In another life we have others. I must give this light to everyone, as well as to those who are around me. Today's lecture is dedicated to victory. We are talking about victory over family difficulties. Victory does not begin with victory over your husband. Try to understand this. Don't set the topic of relationship with one person as your goal. Don't set your problem as a goal. Try to understand that your life as a whole is incorrect, and that's why this problem exists. Life exists in 3 layers. If you are depressed, if people drink at your home, if they swear, if you curse each other, if you are in a state of anger, despair, resentment, it means that there is hopelessness in your home. Hopelessness means there can be no victory there. Remove the hopelessness first. Don't think about anything else. Remove the hopelessness. Start washing the floors in the house to make it clean. Start cooking food with prayer. Start washing yourself every day, because water washes away dirt on a subtle level. In the morning, before doing anything, just wash yourself. Wash off the energetic dirt. Turn on spiritual music. Start forgiving everyone, asking for forgiveness. Your loved ones will begin to sober up. The atmosphere in the apartment will become cleaner and cleaner every day. Work on the atmosphere in the apartment. Don't work on the person. It's useless. The atmosphere changes everything. Next, you've changed the atmosphere in the apartment. Now change the atmosphere of your views. Study how to live right. Listen to lectures. Your views on life will change. You won't be so shaken by the fact that there's little money. You will be shaken by the fact that your conscience feels heavy, and so on. When your views on life change, they will detach from external acquisitions to internal acquisitions. Then you will break free not just from degradation, but also from passion. Passion means that external life attracts more than internal life. A person suffers. I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't have time for prayer. I need to get to work faster. You see, people are more interested in external life. They don't understand what true happiness is. They have no knowledge. Listen to lectures. Fill yourself with inner purity. Your apartment is clean. Now purify yourself from within. When you purify yourself, your close people also become purified. Don't think that it works differently. Getting your husband back or making him stop drinking, that's still far away. Start from the very beginning. If you want to build the roof of a house, start with the foundation. The foundation means a sublime atmosphere in your apartment and your correct understanding of life. This is the foundation for overcoming family difficulties. You need to start with all of this. When you develop the skill of living correctly, then comes your goal. You have a goal. I'm not married. My loved one is sick. He's cheating on me, bringing his mistress home. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. No matter how difficult it is to achieve your goal, it can be overcome by gradual forward movement. Most importantly, don't wish for changes immediately. Just set yourself up for a long journey. Set yourself up for a long journey because there are 3 types of fate. The first type of fate is fleeting fate. For example, if someone in a tram tells me, "Hey, 4 eyes, move over, stop shaking your bald head, your nose is about to hit the glass." Let's say they list all my flaws, I move over, and there are no big problems because this is a stranger to me. This is temporary karma. It doesn't impact much, you see. I get a little upset, then forget about it in 5 minutes. Next, there is work karma. When people work together, karma impacts more strongly. If a person works with me and behaves like that, it's already difficult for me. I start to suffer. And the heaviest karma is connected to close relationships. If my wife says to me, "Hey, 4 eyes," I'll get very upset then. Why? Because I didn't expect it. She's a close person to me. You need to understand why it's so difficult, because karma of family life, the fate of family life, is the heaviest. And the closer you are to a person, the more attached you are to them, the heavier the fate. People want to enjoy life which doesn't exist. And what do you need to do according to what I have said? You see, now we're overcoming the fate of a specific person. There are no problems in being happy, you just don't want to, you see. That's the problem. You really wanted to talk about your numerous problems. That's what you wanted. But now you don't want to do what needs to be done, and now we'll make it so that you want to. So you woke up. What do you do next? You go to the shower, right? You need to wash yourself, your entire body, not just wash your head, but wash your whole body. You need to wash off the energy of degradation after sleep. You've washed off the energy of degradation. Do you have an altar at home?
Yes.
Who specifically do you worship?
Jesus Christ.
Wonderful. Do you have an icon at home?
Yes.
Do you have the voice of a holy person? A voice with whom you will read the prayer? You don't have strength yourself. You'll sit in front of the icon now and start crying, thinking about your unfortunate fate, and you'll freeze in this state. But you need to defrost. You need to become a light bulb, do you understand? Do you have a sound of a holy person with whom you will repeat, "I wish happiness to everyone," or a prayer? Do you have the voice of an exalted person?
You can find it on the internet.
Do you have it?
No.
So tonight, before going to bed, you find the voice of a holy person. Then in the morning you play this voice, sit down. How will you sit during prayer?
Calmly and so that it's comfortable.
No, you need to do the opposite. Force yourself to sit straight. You've begun to overcome your fate, you understand? You need to sit straight. You need to listen to the voice of an exalted person. Bow to Jesus Christ and begin your life. Do you understand? Begin your life. How long will you specifically do this tomorrow?
1 hour.
1 hour for your happiness, yes? Everything else for sadness.
Then I'll fall and do it again.
Good, at least an hour, and that's good. Now I have a question for you. If I hadn't talked to you now, would you have done this tomorrow?
Maybe yes, maybe no.
I am very grateful to you. Now please sit down. Thank you very much. I'm sure that everything will work out in your life. You are a very sincere person. You sincerely came up to me. You wanted to talk. What conclusion can be drawn from this conversation? You yourself don't want to be happy. All of you don't want to be happy. That's the main problem, you understand? There are thousands of reasons why we won't do this tomorrow. We ourselves don't want to be happy. We have thousands of reasons not to do what will overcome our fate. What will be the result in the end? The first result for this girl will be that she will restore her mental health. That will be the first result. She will feel mentally fulfilled. This will be the very first result. As soon as she feels mentally fulfilled, since she has a tendency to care for other people, she will look for a job in a field where she can care for others. For example, taking care of children. She'll go work in a nursery and so on. This will be the second result. Third result, she will begin to glow, and gradually young men will start looking at her. All this will take her about 2-3 years. Daily prayer is needed so that her life completely changes. In about 6 months, her mental health will be restored. Then in 6 months, she will find a job, and then in another year or 2, she will get married. This is how this person's fate will change. If every day for at least an hour, she will do what she promised me. Try to understand what the problem is. The problem is not that we are so unhappy and our situation is so bad. The problem is that we are lazy in our souls. That's the only problem, and that's it. There is no other problem in our lives. I will prove this to you 1,000 times right now. There is no other problem. We are simply lazy in our souls, that's all. We will find 1,000 reasons not to do this. Who else wants to talk to me? You lady, please. Don't be afraid of me. I don't bite, only sometimes.
I'm not afraid of you at all. I want to share my story and tell you how I overcame my fate. My story is not standard. I overcame it quite recently because I loved God. But I was very far from Him. I went to different temples. I was invited to Christianity and other traditions. And at some point I realized that I really enjoy communicating with Him. And my story is this. My husband and I weren't divorced, but we lived separately for approximately 2 to 3 years. And at some point, it happened that all the children left with him.
You were left alone?
I was left alone.
When did this happen?
This happened last May.
Let's make this quicker. I'll just ask you questions. What specific actions did you take at that moment?
First, I was very upset for a whole year.
Worrying is not needed. These are not actions. Worrying is destroying your own life. What did you start doing to save your fate?
I read chapters from the Bible. I sought enlightenment.
It is great, great.
But before that, I realized that happiness needs to be created every day, and happiness will heal us. That means that we need to lift our own mood.
That's incorrect. It's all wrong. You don't need to lift your mood. That's all madness. You need to give yourself to God. You need to forget about yourself. Try to understand this. All these techniques for lifting your mood are a waste of time. You need to listen to the voice of a holy person, feel their purity, and bow to them, serve them, distract yourself from yourself. When a person takes their mind off themselves, they overcome their fate. As long as a person is attached to themselves, they keep thinking, I want to be in a good mood. I want a close person to come to me. I want one thing. I want another one. As long as a person is attached to themselves, nothing will change. Everything will remain as it was. But as soon as a person distracts from themselves, thinking, I want to serve, I want to take care of others, then life begins to move forward. You had such a situation, you said, I read the Bible and I experience great happiness. This is exactly what I'm talking about. There are different ways to worship the truth. One way is to worship the scriptures. Another way is to worship the name of God. The third way is to worship the image of a holy person. The fourth way is to visit holy places, to go around holy places. The fifth way is to bathe in holy water. You need to serve holiness. Forget about yourself. You need to do this selflessly.
Most importantly, I realized that God loves me, and I was filled with the energy of love. I realized that I loved everyone around me. This unconditional energy came to me. I forgave everyone in my heart.
When did you start to recover?
I could say recently.
When recently, specifically?
Less than a month ago.
This is a very small experience. Who has more experience in this regard? If someone wants to share their experience, let's share experiences. Your mistake is that you shouldn't feel that God loves us. We need to learn to love God. If you think about yourself that God loves you, this doesn't help you. It will help you, that's true, but a little bit. You've learned to forgive people, that's good. But you need to understand one thing, that what is required of you is not to feel that God loves you, but to feel that you can do something for Him yourself. I want to serve you. I want to live for you. I want to distract my mind from myself. I don't want anything from you. I don't need to know if you love me or not. It's clear that you love me. I want to do something myself. I'm tired of taking everything for granted. I'm tired of always wanting something from someone. I want to do something. I wish happiness to everyone. I wish happiness to everyone. I want to love you, Lord. I want to serve you. I want to follow your instructions. I'm tired of thinking about myself. I want to overcome my fate this way. When a person acts this way, they become strong because God likes this. When we look at God thinking about ourselves, whether He loves me or not, He doesn't like that. So I need specific experience. Don't be afraid, I might scold a little, but overall I'll praise. Or maybe I won't scold at all, let's go. Just understand, since there are many of us, the goal is this. We speak to the point. First the scope of the problem, then what you did. Speak without any emotions. We need experience. We simply need experience, that's all.
I was divorced, and another person appeared in my life who loved me. After some time, he left. This person left me. The first thing I did was pray very hard for 4 months, very intensely. Then, I'll say this. I know that he came back. I know this definitely wouldn't have happened without God.
Tell us what you did.
I started praying. I asked God for him to return.
So you exploited God. Even that helps.
Then I thought that again I'm thinking about myself and asked to teach me to love this person, or at least someone.
Great, thank you very much. This is the way. Now you've said what brings victory. Lord, teach me to love. I'm tired of thinking about myself. Wonderful, great.
I understood that I was asking for myself, and I just said, well, it's not working out. Just give me the ability to love someone.
It is great.
I told a girl who was also engaged in spiritual practice that I don't know how to do anything. Help me. And we started praying together.
Praying together is absolutely great.
I went home, thought, well, now I'll just continue living. And then after half a year, I realized that it doesn't matter whether he returns or not. He's just my close friend, in my heart naturally. I called him, asked how he was doing. He came and married me. He also told me, I don't believe you. I said, you have the right, yes, because I hurt you. You have the right not to come back.
The scope of work is in the heart. It doesn't matter who is where. It doesn't matter how someone behaves. If everything has been resolved in the heart, then victory is inevitable. Try to understand this. But the most important thing is what the path consists of. The path is to get distracted from yourself. Well, please try to understand this. It's very difficult because you still want to ask. You still want to think about yourself. You want to cry. You want to howl at the moon and think about how everything is bad for you. You see, this is just laziness of the soul, and that's all. There's no use in it. Look, the girl even started praying, and how did she pray? Return my husband to me. And what was God thinking at this time? I've already returned him to you many times. What's the use? Nothing changes from this. Maybe you'll think differently somehow. No, I don't want to think differently. No, I don't want to. I want my husband. Well, maybe you'll still want to understand how to do it right. But a person's life is not meant for themselves. To shine always, to shine everywhere until the last days. To shine, that's how the sun is designed, my Lord, and that's how I am designed. I am a small soul, similar to God. I must shine, not think about myself. I should live for others, and then I will be happy. And then what happened next? A miracle happened. This is a real miracle. Lord, I am worthless. I don't know how to live the right way. I don't know how to pray properly. Teach me how to love. I don't need anyone to come back. I've already understood everything. Just teach me how to love. So what does the Lord give this girl next? I felt everything she went through. What does he give her then? He gives her the understanding of who this person really is. She started to feel who he was. She began to remember him and understand why he left. Isn't that so?
Yes. I realized why he left. It wasn't because he was bad. I saw what I was doing that made him go.
So what is love? It means not thinking only about yourself, you see. God gave her insight into this man. She began to understand him as a person, why he left, what he went through. Just like in the song, what happened to you again? Maybe I'm the one to blame. You can't just stay silent, stubbornly silent for an hour and then another. Then what happened? She realized who he was and why he left. That means a small stream of connection had already begun to flow between them. But for that to happen, she had to rise above herself. That's very hard to do, really hard. Try to understand this. The girl will go home, and it will be very difficult for her to shift her focus from herself to the man who left. It's tough, but the moment she starts to understand him, the stream of love will start to flow. But before that, she must first accept her destiny. Then her heart will become peaceful. After that, she'll feel strength, then the connection, and only then she'll truly feel him. You see how many steps are still ahead? See, victory is very sweet. Victory is something wonderful. You heard that moment of victory, and we all applauded. But understand, I saw that victory long before this ending. I didn't need to hear the final result, whether he returned or not. The real victory was in the turning point. When a person realizes they must serve others and build a connection with God, then victory becomes inevitable. After that, nothing bad will happen in that person's life anymore, you see. You may think, what if he doesn't come back? But that's impossible. A person cannot remain unhappy after they've made such a change. Because the purpose of life is not to get someone back, but to transform your own heart, to turn it away from selfishness and start serving. And once a person does that, why would God keep punishing them? What's the point if the lesson is already learned? The test is passed. Why suffer more? If not this man, then another. You know how many wonderful men God has. Go ahead, speak. You're balm for my soul.
It will be a little bitter.
Go ahead.
If you don't mind. Of course, we sometimes have conflicts. That's normal. But thanks to this mercy, I truly saw him as a person. I cried out that I want to learn to listen, to understand. I can see the other side, understand why he acts that way, but it doesn't always work out.
I'll explain everything and help you. God is happy for you. I feel it in my heart. Understand this. In your past life, you were a man. You were very harsh with women, very rigid. And that's why now you've been given a young man with a very strict way of relating to you. But you are a sensitive, delicate woman. It's very hard for you to bear this harshness. Am I right or not really?
He left for sure. He's a very straightforward person, yes.
Straightforward, yes. You see, a person receives certain things in life because they are necessary. And when you start praying to God more, this will become absolutely clear to you. You'll have a moment of realization that in this life nothing happens by chance. This person is a perfect reflection of your destiny. and there is only one reason why he came back to you. Because God likes the way you live, and since he likes it, he likes you. That's why he gave you another chance. He gave you the opportunity to have this person back, because with him you can work through your karma in the best possible way. He is the right person for this. He will give you exactly as much suffering as you need.
He doesn't torture me.
Of course he doesn't. Of course not, dear. You're a good person. You don't resist. You listen to lectures. Everything is fine.
Dr. Torsunov, I wrote you a note, but you didn't answer it. May I ask you another question? My child is sick. I'm in a lot of pain.
Then come to us for treatment. Maybe his eye will start developing better. How old is your child?
4 months.
Come, maybe the eye is fine. Maybe the structure is normal.
The nerve structure is not complete.
So it's underdeveloped. Let's give it a try. I have techniques that can help complete the development. I work on the subtle body. Let's try to help your child.
We will come in September.
Please do come.
I have a request. Please pray for my child.
All right, I'll start tomorrow. What is your child's name?
Andre.
I can see your child. This happened because there was increased tension in your uterus during pregnancy, and the baby's head was pressed tightly against that area of your body. That's the reason. This strong pressure caused the problem. Thank you so much. I'm very happy to see you. We need real-life cases with real victories. We are waiting for stories of success. Who has one to share? Sir, please. Tell us the situation and what happened, how the victory came.
Good evening, Dr. Torsunov. First of all, thank you so much for finally visiting our city.
Now you won't get rid of me.
Absolutely. Thank you for all your work, and especially for the wide range of topics you cover in your lectures. You speak not only about family matters, but also about social life, business, personal growth, health, and much more. I'm not sure if it can be called a victory, but I think it is. I want to speak specifically about prayer. I realized for myself what prayer really means. This happened in the fall of last year. My health got worse, and my condition became critical. I had inflammation, fever, and so on. I had pain almost throughout the entire abdomen. Eventually, they found a growth on one of my organs. The prognosis was poor. All signs pointed to cancer. I had almost no hope left, and things got worse. One day I left the doctor's office and went to a church. Not for the first time. I've been a believer for many years, and I visit churches often. It was a frosty November day, with snow on the ground. I entered the church courtyard, and a woman asked me to help. They were doing some work, the ground was frozen, and they were digging it out and bringing in good soil to plant flowers in spring. To decorate the yard. Of course I couldn't say no. I did it with joy. The guys and I moved all the soil. The woman said, "Well done. Come with your children. Let them enjoy the flowers we planted." First, I felt a big relief right after that day. The fever disappeared immediately. I felt light. And the woman said, "Well done. Good job, guys. Today, God will definitely hear your prayer. Whatever it's about, He will hear it." I went to the temple for the main reason I came, to pray. I don't even know. It wasn't just a prayer. It felt like something changed inside me. It was like reviewing my whole life. A moment of clarity. It was repentance, forgiveness, gratitude.
How long did you pray?
I think about 40 minutes. That's much longer than usual. I usually pray quietly.
Were you standing or on your knees?
Yes, on my knees.
Was there any service at that time, or were you alone?
No, it was outside service hours.
So you were alone? Only blessings were with you?
Yes. Actually, maybe that's not the right way.
It is the right way.
I love going to the temple when I'm alone, when there are just a few people, when it's not stuffy, just like that.
That's normal.
After that, the prayer became so powerful. It wasn't even just a prayer, but a kind of deep inner process.
You understand it was powerful not because you made it powerful?
No, of course not. Literally the next day I woke up. No more fever. And within a week, everything came back to normal. New test results came. It turned out the growth wasn't even mine. It was benign. The real problem was another organ that was also suffering, so it wasn't just a miracle.
You received knowledge. First, a person receives peace in the heart. You called it a miracle. Then you received knowledge. God opened your eyes to what was really happening. You received the correct results, and then everything fell into place. Go on.
I also want to say, During the prayer, I lost all fear about whether I had the disease or not. At some point, it just didn't matter anymore. I had almost accepted it.
Excellent.
I truly stopped caring whether I had the disease or not. I asked God only one thing. If my time is short, if I really have this disease, let me use this time to do something good for others.
Super. That's a victory. You understand? During the prayer, he stopped thinking about himself and found his life's purpose. He said, I don't want to live for myself. I want to live for you, my dear Lord. That's why I came. Will my life be long or short? I don't know. I may have a serious illness, but I want to live for you, for all of this short or long life. That's it. And then the light bulb begins to glow. As soon as contact happens, the light shines. And what does it do? It destroys all the darkness, inside and outside.
Yes. That's why I want to say to everyone here today, don't underestimate your own prayers. Understand, they have immense power. Sometimes it has a cumulative effect and shows results later. Other times the effect is immediate, like a bucket of cold water being poured on you. Just take a few minutes, at least 10. Just 10. That's enough.
Even better, 20.
Better to spend 20. Well, at least the minimum.
At least the minimum, that's for sure.
Just start praying, step by step. Prayer really changes your life. It can turn everything around in a moment and set things right. After I started praying, I regained my health, became calmer, and my whole life began to improve, especially my relationships with others, starting with my family.
In what way did it improve?
My family relationships became much better. Despite being busy, I started to clearly separate work from family. I began spending more time with my family, especially my son. At that point, when I had accepted my illness and thought I didn't have much time left, I realized how precious time is. I just couldn't pull myself away from my son. I saw the value in every word he said, every minute spent with him, and it still continues. Thank God it still continues.
Thank you. I'm sorry we need to wrap up now. Thank you very much. Let me summarize this important conversation. Now I'll give a short analysis. I want to summarize this presentation, which is very meaningful for us. The first thing that happened, the person faced a crisis. People react differently to crisis. Some fall into despair, but he went to the temple. Some rely only on themselves and lose hope. Others turn to God and go to the temple. Then he received help. He had the chance to serve a very exalted person. I felt that woman. She lives with God. She carries God in her heart. As a result, by serving this noble person, he received great strength in his heart, a strength he didn't know was there. And she told him, "Today your prayer will bear fruit." He didn't yet know what the result would be, because healing or not healing, that's not the main point. What truly matters is something else. Whether he feels the power of God in his life or not, that's what matters. The greatest outcome in life is not health. The most important thing is the experience he gained through illness. You understand? That experience is the key. What has he been talking about all this time? He's been describing that power he felt during prayer. It was truly a miracle. That power completely transformed his heart. It changed his whole life. What else did that power do? He felt no fear at all. He had believed, was sure that he had a serious illness, but in that moment a power arose in his heart, and it said, "Nothing will happen. Everything will be fine." That's what we're really talking about, the power that comes when a person does the right things. The first right thing, to serve an elevated soul. The second, he said he did things differently, but in fact, he did the same. I said, bow to a saintly person, and he carried earth for her. There's no difference. Do you understand? It's the same. He carried soil for a holy person and received a blessing. He received a blessing, and then the prayer started flowing. Prayer began. The Lord rejoiced in his heart. Power came. And when power came, illness left. Knowledge came. He understood how everything really works. What happened next? As a result of that prayer, he stopped focusing on himself. We are all so caught up in ourselves. But he turned his attention away and realized he had a child. You understand? That the child needed care. What happened next? He started attending lectures and so on. Maybe he had been attending even before that. Life will go on. It will become deeper, more intense, and stronger. Let me tell you, your illness is not what you think it is. I understand your condition. The problem is that there's a spasm in the deep areas of your brain caused by tension and fatigue. The blood vessels in the deep brain are constricting. These spasms later cause overstimulation in the body, especially in the abdominal area. And that leads to inflammation. You just need to do the following. Either the shoulder stand pose, raise your legs up for about 15 minutes a day to improve blood circulation in the head, or take contrast showers. Long walks are also very beneficial for you, maybe an hour or two each day. Walk quickly like this so that blood circulation in your neck and head improves, then all those issues down below won't arise. We don't have much time left. I tried to make the last hour of this lecture more practical, and God heard my wish. He gave me two wonderful people who opened my eyes to many things. I believe from now on, our lives will begin to change for the better. Before we end, I want to tell you one last thing, something very important. We are not parting ways tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll simply find out how much you truly want to be happy right from the morning. The decision will be made tomorrow morning. Do you really want to be happy or not? It will be decided within your heart, you understand. If tomorrow you spend even 5 minutes doing what we've talked about here with sincerity and determination, then happiness will surely come into your home. Everything else is just the result. The Vedas explain, if a person lives close to God within their own faith and spiritual tradition without changing it, then knowledge comes on its own as a natural result. You see, the girl realized she just needed to call him, but how would she have known that if the knowledge hadn't come into her heart? She called him, then she understood what to say so that he would return. That's how the Lord works through the heart. When we pass all our life tests, the knowledge of what to do comes by itself. Soon she will also realize that every difficulty in this world is actually a blessing in disguise. If you keep living the way you do now, you'll begin to understand even the mystery of your child's birth. You'll see happiness in everything your fate brings. Everything will turn into happiness. If there are challenges, there will be victory. Keep living like this. Turn every challenge into a victory. Don't think there's anything in this world that can stop you from becoming happy. Keep fighting. If there is no peace in our relationships with each other, then we will never have peace in our hearts. To truly respect other spiritual cultures, we must first come into contact with them, even a little. That's why I do what I do. Sometimes I play Orthodox music, then Vedic, then Muslim. Why do I do this? I do it so that the heart can feel united, so it can feel that God is present here, there, and everywhere. But that doesn't mean I should switch to another path. Do you understand? God is everywhere, but most of all, He is in that tradition, that temple, that old woman who was beside you at that moment. You don't need to go anywhere else. That is your path. Live within that temple. Go there. Speak with that woman. God will give you many more good things. But most importantly, do not let hostility toward other faiths enter your heart. Don't let yourself believe that something is wrong with God's creation. God has many wonderful things that we simply cannot understand because our perception is very limited. But that doesn't mean the statement, through Christ, is wrong. It is true. The same goes for the words Allahu Akbar. They are also true. Just understand, when a person walks a certain path, God gives them the knowledge to reach Him through that very path. Because for them, there is no other way. But that doesn't mean the other paths are wrong. Please try to understand this. True peace begins when interfaith harmony settles in the heart. Then the heart becomes strong in its connection with the supreme truth, and the greater divine plan becomes clear. Do not be afraid of faith. Do not be afraid of religiosity. Do not be afraid of human purity. Do not be afraid of the desire for victory. Seek your own path. Seek your own faith. If you have found it, walk this path with confidence. Once a woman came up to me after a lecture and asked, Dr. Torsunov, which faith should I choose? I looked at her and said, choose your own faith, yours. She said, thank you. Now I understand. We've gathered here for only one purpose. We want victory. Victory over fate. We don't need anything else. And now we will strive for that victory. We have a little time left. Let's use it for this purpose. If you want to continue on this path and go deeper into this knowledge, I have a seminar called Victory Over the Difficulties of Fate. The whole seminar is about prayer. It includes both practice and real-life stories. I share my own experiences of how I overcame my fate, just like the others who shared theirs. It contains detailed guidance on what to do and how to do it. If you want to learn more about family life, there are many seminars on that. You can listen to them. But without knowledge, there is no real life. We need to keep growing, keep learning. Everyone sit straight, listen to the sound. Don't be afraid of anything. No one can mislead us. We are simply trying to understand human purity. And with that mood, we repeat, I wish happiness to everyone. In our minds, we remember the sacred place in our faith and bow to it. Right now, mentally go to that temple, because God has already revealed himself to you there. Remember that woman. Bow to her, bow to the altar. Listen to the voice. I wish happiness to everyone. I am not against anyone. I want to serve you. I want to live for you. I want to follow your instructions. I bow to you. I bow to you. I want to forget myself. I'm tired of thinking about myself. Thoughts about myself don't help. They destroy my life. I want to take my mind off myself. I don't care if my husband comes back or not. Right now, I want to think about you, only you. And because I think about you, you will surely not forget about me. 100%. Now let's adjust a little. I wish happiness to everyone. Who is louder, me or the voice? Me? Good, that's fine. Thank you all. I wish you all happiness, overcoming fate, love, spiritual knowledge, all the most valuable things. I am very grateful for your patience, for your kind words, your smiles and support, for all the kindness you have brought me during these 3 days. Thank you very much. All the best. To learn more on the subject of health and healing of the body, please make sure to read my health guide, available for download on my YouTube channel or on my Instagram page. Thank you very much, and see you soon.